Monday morning here at the
museum, right?
The PettyMuseum.
Okay, you
there
got
we
it.
go. They another road race, Richard, but
It was a typical road race. I mean, if you look at Formula One, IMSA, all that, it's just wherever you come out in the pits or where you start, that's pretty well where you wind up. I think you said the race. I didn't watch the race Saturday. You said that was pretty interesting.
it was. But there was one dominant car, and then the crew chief on a car that won the race more or less said just take him out because he's roughed you up, and that's what happened. But
anyhow, the Sunday race, they couldn't get close enough to hit each other. You know what I mean?
I don't understand that, Richard. I don't understand. I don't know where it's that they can't get close, where it's the air thing, or where there's no air to the engine. And the engine's got to have air no matter what.
Where you get close to somebody is when you outbrake them, going in the corners and stuff. But the race deal wound up that the 24 was the best car.
Well,
the 34 was good for a while, but the 24 was really better. And the 34 messed up a couple times in the pits. Then he messed up the motor or something.
Well, something happened with the electronics or something, but I believe he was an awful good car, Richard, because when he got back to 12th, he had drove up to 8th or 9th.
Yeah, I know, but he was getting behind pretty dadgum quick.
I understand that, but he's still in traffic, Richard.
Well, I understand
and we
that
know
too.
what clean air is on these cars.
But just watching the times that I was watching they were still 20, 3100s better than he was.
But see, the 5
the
car...
The 11 car was really good.
Yeah, he was
he was just steady, but he wasn't quite good enough for 24. 5 car was pretty decent. And then he messed up getting in the pits, started in the back, and then wrecked the last lap.
Well, he got up there to 20th, and that's as far as he could go.
Right.
And the 34 car, did you see Denny's interview after the race?
No,
He made a statement, and I think it explained a lot of stuff. He said when they threw the green flag, he said, I was just going to kind of ease into it, but said the 34 was ready to race.
Started pushing.
And he started pushing. And it was a known fact that the 34 was going to get by him, Richard, anybody that's watched races. I don't know. And then, like he said, he run through too many pits, but he was still an awful good car to the 34.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't a good car. I just don't think he was good enough to beat the 24 car.
But here's another thing. What if the 20 had got out front?
Yeah, well, that's what the 20. I was going to bring the 20 up. He just steady, not spectacular or nothing. He just goes out and just runs dadgum good, but about anywhere he goes.
But you talking about the 24 being so good, and he was. I ain't taking nothing away from him. He was the first one there and won the race. But if he'd have got back to
that's hard
20th,
to say. Yeah,
where would he have wound up? And the thing about it, they didn't let him. They didn't let that happen. So he didn't have to prove it.
The way he pitted,
exactly.
Then they had a caution, and he stopped just as the caution come out.
Got lucky.
They made a good decision to bring him in because they knew there was going to be a caution.
They know that,
and so that kept him up front. Otherwise, if he'd have made it all the way around, he might have got in trouble making pit stop.
And the 9 car, to let one of them cars run out of gas.
But the 9 car never was that good.
No, but he was going. He'd have been in the top 10 somewhere.
Well,
maybe
he'd have been in top 10.
I don't know, but
that's about as good as he was. And right before he ran out of gas, I think the 8 car had passed him. You mean so he wasn't going forward. If anything, he was going backwards.
Okay, so gosh,
but I can't understand them running out of gas. But what they do, Dale, is when they make them pit stops, the tires are a lot quicker changing tires than they are putting the gas in. And some of them guys was putting the car down and still waiting on the gas. And then some of them wasn't making them. So undoubtedly they just didn't get the 9 car full.
Well, but they got them trick cans in there, Richard, trap doors that traps gas, and they can switch and pump out of them. They showed the deal on television where you're supposed to have so many laps once the tank goes dry. But no matter what,
2.5 mile track or something, you ain't gonna have a whole lot.
I know one time I let you run out of gas at Talladega. You talked about it, you didn't remember it, but I know we used to say, if I've been this far one time, I can go this far again. And if
it's full,
if it's full,
yeah.
And I know what happened, but it was I guess I kind of got the blame for it, and you don't even remember it, but evidently they didn't get it full and didn't tell me.
That's the only mistake you'd ever made with you,
Yeah, but okay, but no, it's.
But anyhow, I don't know what they're going to be able to do to make the racing any better on the road courses and stuff. I thought that the race in Watkins Glen would be better than the one in the Indy for some reason, because to me it's really a road course, because you go up and down hill, you turn left, you turn right. So to me it was more of a road course, because the Indy's just flat. It's just got corners. But I didn't see the people that I think is really good road racers. I didn't see any of them overcoming some of the regular drivers that, like the 24. That's the first time he'd ever won a road course. You mean? So, he's been there, he's run good, but he just really shined.
But, you brought up, said qualifying was pretty interesting. It's amazing how close qualifying is. And then when they get in a race, they can't run that close to each other,
But I noticed that the racetrack was a lot different than what it was the last time we was up there. Used to, when they went to those bumper deals on the inside of the racetrack, they just hit them with the left front or the right front. This time they was running full across them
and going airborne,
and so that made the track quicker and changed the racing part, because like just going in number one, you used to have to turn and stay low. They asphalted all that deal where they used to crash, and they all run out there. They're not even close to the racetrack. Yes. In the same way, coming off of one of them circles down there in the backstretch, after you go around the dog leg, they go way out. So the track has really, really changed from what it's been in the past.
Well, what you're saying is they made runoffs for the corners, and now the drivers are using them as racetrack.
They're using everything. But all the escape routes are used.
I don't know what was found when the people got home with their cars, but it was amazing to me that there wasn't more failures on the suspension, Richard, as much as they bounced them cars around. You know what I mean?
The stuff, they're just solid. All but solid. And
the cushion is the tires.
Yeah. They'll jump those bumper deals, and when they land, they don't do nothing except just land. They don't go up. The cars don't go up and down.
But of course, I know me and you was trying to keep up with the 42 and the 43, but
they never did run good.
They never did. But I think the 42 had a real long pit stop, and maybe a 43 had an extra pit stop that us not being there, it didn't come up. But we can't make excuses for them. They didn't run good.
That kept them from finishing a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it didn't make them run any worse.
Yeah.
So it was just not a bad. Well, it was a bad day for us.
Okay, this is going to be a short week. Daytona Saturday night. Well, it's not a short week because it's a late race for me and you, and we're planning on going. And who'd ever think that they'd go to Daytona and qualify without even practicing?
Good luck. But so far they've been able to get by with that kind of stuff. But the big deal is, those guys that's right behind the 16 deal, they've got to win a race to get in. There's no way they can gain enough points. Like Bubba's, like 35 points or something ahead of 16th. I mean, he's 16th.
Yeah.
And so there's no way you can outpoint him. I mean, he could. He could fall out at the first of the race, be the first car out, and still, unless somebody wins the race.
Yeah.
So his only chance of getting knocked out is if one of the cars, the next 5 or 6 cars, win a race.
Well,
and Daytona, anybody can win.
And Lord have mercy, they will be aggressive there, and
those particular guys will really be aggressive because they know that's their last chance to make the top 16.
and we've had awful good cars down there, Richard. We got caught up, I believe, in the rain last year with probably one of the better cars we've had on a super speedway. But it's a different car this year,
it's a different deal. So we'll turn them all loose Saturday night and see how we wind up. Hopefully we can run not a little bit better, but a whole lot better.
We got
than
to
we
be
did
a whole
this
lot
weekend.
better. We'll just wait and see what goes on this week.
We'll get ready.
This Saturday night. Let's
Go
put
to
it like
Daytona.
that.
Party Saturday night, okay?
Oh boy, I hope so.